to Seattle Refined in our TGIF edition. There is so much happening, I don't even know where to begin, from naked bikers to rock and roll runners to where to take Dad this Father's Day. Refined.com managing editor Britt Thorson. She is back from Austin, Texas. Big old trip for you and SeattleRefined.com. We're going to get into that, but what's happening around town?
We have to talk about the biggest thing that's happening this weekend, which is one of the things that Seattle is on the map for, the Fremont Solstice Bike Ride, also known as the Naked Bike Ride. That's right. Tomorrow, Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. in Fremont. Let's all knock on wood that it's good weather for these poor folks. Otherwise, they'll be pretty chilly.
Yeah, well, make sure you bring your sunscreen, too.
and just get it everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. But this is one of those things that really makes Seattle, Seattle. We'll have a full photo gallery up that's safe for work, I promise. We're going to make sure we don't catch anything we shouldn't catch. But the Fremont Bike Ride is just one part of the whole Fremont Fair weekend. There's art cars. There's a dog parade on Sunday. But it is definitely the flashiest, I guess, pun intended.
It's so unique. It's really cool to get out there and watch these people. It's fun.
Now, if you want an art festival where people all have their clothes on, you should head to Edmonds. This is the Edmonds Art Festival, celebrating its 60th year this year. You'll have artist booths, galleries, live entertainment, food, crafts, and the best part is that the admission is free.
We are so talented here in the Northwest, aren't we?
With clothes on and off.
Yeah, and speaking of talent, you got the Milk Carton Derby where people actually make these things and then compete with them.
That's right. So the Derby actually isn't until July 15th, but you can get those cartons that you're supposed to make your boats out of tomorrow at the University Village Safeway between 11 and 2. You got to build a boat and get yourself ready for this. That's an awesome one. That might be the favorite one I've ever seen.
That's me in the water. My boat's sinking.
But again, the actual Derby is July 15th, which isn't too far away. So if I were you, I'd get those cartons and start prepping.
Yeah, so from the water to the land we go. If you're into running, which I don't really like to run, I never have.
No.
I love basketball, but long distance running. But this is a good event.
This is the Rock and Roll Marathon. I always say if I was going to do a marathon, which I'm not going to do, it would be this one because they have live music that lines the streets of Seattle for these runners. So it makes it seem a little bit more like a party. Now, I still wouldn't be able to get past the whole running thing.
Oh, me either.
But the party part I can really appreciate. The coolest part about this is more than 18,000 participants from around the country and the world, really. 30 different countries participate.
Wow.
And this is the coolest part. 60% are women. Women
really?
rule. Yeah.
Women are great run. I don't know what it is, but there's something
women are great, period. You can just end that sentence right there.
But I know 2 or 3 marathon runners, and they're all 3 are women, and they're fantastic. They're just not only nice people, but man, they can run forever.
Yeah. I mean, running, and I have a bunch of friends where they get that running high, and it's just like better than anything I've ever gotten, and I have yet to get that. So I'll be thinking about you in bed, runners. Go get them.
Well, Britt, everybody knows if you watch Seattle Refined, we love The Bachelor, love The Bachelorette, but what is going on with Bachelor in Paradise? Yeah,
so for this whole past week, different allegations have been coming out of misconduct on the Bachelor in Paradise Season 4 set. It actually has been shut down.
Completely?
Completely shut. Well, I don't think that ABC has actually announced as to whether the show's going to continue or not, but this season is definitely shut down. And we're showing you right now, there are 2 alleged people involved in this are Demario from Rachel's season, which we literally just saw, and then Corinne you saw earlier from last year's Bachelor.
And this isn't a hoax, right? This is a real thing.
This is real. People have released statements. Now, obviously you have a lot of different people releasing a lot of different statements. We don't really know what has actually happened or not. What we do know for sure is that the set has been shut down, and they're looking into allegations of misconduct. So,
so much drama.
But,
always the drama.
Always the drama. And I mean, we wish everyone the best and hope this gets wrapped up. But while Bachelor in Paradise may be finished, the Bachelorette does actually return with no misconduct, hopefully on Monday after taking this week off. Here's a sneak peek.
So far, I've tested the men on group dates in a number of ways. I've tested their dancing and stripping skills, and today I'm going to test their cerebral skills.
Welcome to the Bachelor Nation Spelling Bee.
I did not see that coming.
I was not expecting a spelling bee. I thought it was gonna be like a wet t-shirt, maybe a dancing contest.
Rachel, get the guys up here. Let's go.
It takes a lot to embarrass me, but my potential girlfriend right in front of me, she could think I'm an idiot.
I think intelligence is extremely sexy.
Look at how terrified some of those men looked. They were all ready to get up there and dance without their shirts on, but if you have to spell
It's not
some of
just
the
brawn, you got to have the brains,
you
too.
got to have the brains, man. That's awesome.
Well, can you spell SIF? Do you know how to spell SIF?
That one is pretty easy. I think I can handle that. So the Seattle International Film Festival has handed out its annual Golden Space Needle Awards. The Spanish-language thriller At the End of the Tunnel won audience awards for Best Film and Director. It's about a paraplegic who discovers a woman living with him is in cahoots with a bunch of crooks trying to tunnel their way into his neighbor's vault. Best Actor went to David Johns for I, Daniel Blake, the story of a woodworker fighting the bureaucracy of the British welfare system. And Best Actress went to Leni Cecilia Sparrow for the Swedish coming-of-age film Sammy Blood.
Wow. Those all look great.
I know, and you know, whenever, I shouldn't say this, but whenever things get an award, I automatically kind of like bump it to the top of my like to-watch list, because I feel like if it's won an award, it's probably something I really should see.
Yeah, no kidding. And SIF was terrific this year. I mean, so many great movies, so many big-time actors came through here.
And I hope that everyone on that staff is taking like a month-long break, because they work so hard and they've got to now already start prepping for visitors and films for next year.
Yeah.
Even though it just finished.
Right. Well, I'm gonna take a little bit of break. It's Father's Day. I'm taking a break this weekend.
Happy early Father's Day, Guard.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I don't know, this might be a teaser of what you might get if your kids saw this, but Richard Sherman actually just joined up with Oberto Beef Jerky to release a commercial for a Father's Day jerky tie. Look at that on the tie rack. It literally is a tie made of jerky.
And you can eat the tie?
Yeah, he's obviously a spokesman for Oberto, so this is kind of their new commercial coming out. But I have to admit, that's kind of clever. If your dad's a meat lover and or a Richard Sherman lover, the jerky tie might just be the one for you.
And if you're gonna go out about town, where's some other spots we can hit?
Yeah,
and have
if the
some
jerky
fun
tie
eating?
isn't really your thing, and you want to if you want to have an actual experience with your dad, we have a full roundup of all the places that we could find in the Pacific Northwest that we're doing special things for Father's Day. This is everything from north, south, east, west. This is brunch spots, dessert spots, breakfast spots, dinner spots, and believe it or not all of these places are filled up already. I know we're just 2 days away, but some of them do have reservations still open. Sorry, I sound like a pickle and I just keep saying dill.
You're a jerk.
Yeah, so jerky tie, go that way, or, you know, chocolates or breakfast or desserts or something like that.
Oh, man, it all looks good. Busy weekend on Father's Day.
Yeah.
All right, and you're busy. You're coming back in the show, so don't go anywhere. Sit tight for a little bit. We've got a lot of beer coming up. Oh, it's going to be fun. Well, Seattle Refined is just getting started. If posting photos on social media is your thing, there's a cool new app to help you protect them from blatant stealing. But first, celebrate Father's Day weekend, as I mentioned, with beer and cheers. The party at Marymore Park you don't want to miss. We're going to talk about that coming up after the break. Hurry. Welcome back to Seattle Refined. I'm Guard Swanson. It's Friday, and it is a great time to raise a pint, or maybe two, maybe even three, and cheers to the weekend. And there's no better place to do it this weekend than the Washington Brewers Festival. Eric Radovich, Executive Director with the Washington Beer Commission. He joins us now. Hey, Eric, it's the weekend coming up.
Let's celebrate Father's Day. Marymore Park, 131 breweries and 600 beers. How about that?
And the official name of your event?
The Washington Brewers Festival.
And this is a big deal. You guys have been doing this for years.
12 years now, 20,000 attendees, and then we bring in food trucks and live music, and it's family friendly on the weekends. It's a great event.
All right, before we start talking about that, you have a couple of jobs. Tell me what else you do, because I've known you for a long time.
You know, I always get called out on this. I'm the guy that says third down at Husky Stadium. I'm the PA announcer for Husky football and basketball, and I work a little for the Mariners as well as the official score, and I fill in for Tom Hutler, who you know.
Right, absolutely.
As Safeco Field announcer. So, yeah, sports and beer. Who's got it better than me?
I know, and you know, you got to work on your voice a little bit. It's a little bit high.
Okay.
Try to bring it down.
Dropping it down, just for you. Yeah.
All right, your festival. I mean, this is really a big deal for the state of Washington, because there's so many great brewers here.
Yeah, and you know, we're the home of the hops here. 75% of the hops grown in the country, you know, to make beer are grown in our own Yakima Valley. So we kind of have access to fresh hops, fresh beer. We've got some creative brewers, 356 breweries in our state now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a bunch
amazing.
of them will be at your event for the next few days.
131, all of them Washington State brewers. And again, as I mentioned, 656 different beers to try at this event at Marymore Park.
And so the schedule is, the event starts in about an hour over at Marymore Park.
Yeah, it's happy hour.
Yeah, and then it goes through the weekend.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, we're 4 to 9:30 tonight, Saturday from 11 a.m. to 9:30 p.m., and then we do it again Sunday from 11:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and we celebrate Dad on Father's Day.
All right, give me a roadmap. I'm a father. I'm going to go out there.
Yeah.
What's the first thing I'm supposed to do? Because I might be overwhelmed with everything that's going on, right?
So start by going to WashingtonBeer.com. Get a game plan. Buy your tickets in advance, and you can avoid the ticket box office. You can go right to the kind of express entry area. So plan ahead. WashingtonBeer.com has all those details about parking and how to get a ticket and get in. Then once you're in there, you get your program and you've circled, you know, the beers. I want to try something with grapefruit. Hey, this one's got cucumber.
Yeah.
Let's try something with peanut butter, a coffee stout. And then we do have a little beer and wine, too, for those that don't love or want to try our great craft beers.
All right, tell me about this one right here.
Okay.
I want to try this one right now. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we have beers from all over the state. This beer happens to be from Bremerton, Silver City Brewing in Bremerton, and you picked a good one. This is a summer brew. It's called Ziggy Zoggy.
Ziggy Zoggy.
Very, very refreshing, and I'll pour one for myself
one
here and cheers you here.
Ooh, that smells really good.
But again, we do 4-ounce pours at this event, so you can try a host of beers without overindulging.
All right,
so
cheers.
Cheers to Washington Beer and Brewers Festival this weekend.
You got to love that, huh?
Okay.
All right, thank you so much, Eric. All right, there's more refined straight ahead. Hang on a second, I got to take a sip. That's good stuff. Britt's back from Austin to tell us all about her adventures, plus refined reads. Hear from our June author and what she has to say about secrets. We'll be right back. Cheers. Welcome back to Seattle Refined in our special TGIF edition. As you've seen, I do my fair share of traveling on this show, but I'm not the only one checking out great cities around the country. Britt's back to talk everything about Austin, Texas. You were down there for what? What were you down there for?
So this is pretty cool. The Visitors Bureau of Austin and Seattle teamed up to do something called a blogger swap, where they sent a couple bloggers from Seattle to Austin, and they sent a couple bloggers from Austin to Seattle to experience each other's cities, kind of like out of water, right?
Did you like Austin?
I loved Austin. It is such a cool city. Delta flew us down there. It was their inaugural first trip to back and forth. They've got a nonstop now, 3.5 quick hours. The city is so cool, you guys. I will say it was like 95 degrees the whole time, so I was sweating, you know, my you-know-what's off. But I will say that this city, I mean, there's just so much to do, and there's so much live music and great food, barbecue, Mexican, and I didn't really fully understand, I've only been to Texas a couple times, how big that place is.
Oh, gigantic.
I mean, it's gigantic, and you have so many different people from so many different parts of the world and of Texas who come down to Austin and check it out. Lady Bird Lake, this is one of the places we ran around and did a little bike riding on.
And you know, Britt, I've been to Austin a couple times. What was cool about that, it's a really hip, kind of fun city. Lots of music, lots of everything. You got rolling hills, you got lots of streams. It's not like just like a desert if you're thinking of Texas. It is really an oasis.
Yeah, and it reminds me a lot of Seattle in a ways, because it's a lot of, again, it's kind of like, I hate the phrase up and coming, but I'm going to use it. It's kind of up and coming, but it also is already like coming. It's here, it's been done. People know it's cool, and now other people want to move there, kind of like we're seeing here in Seattle. The live music, you guys, I have to say, was just phenomenal. This guy was a jazz musician, and I stayed in that bar, like just watching him for about 2 hours. I was like that creeper going, how are you doing that with a trumpet? And then he sings too. I mean, the music in and of itself is a reason to go to Austin, but the people were also just, I mean, of course, I'm talking to people who are trying to convince me of how great Austin is, but I really didn't need that much convincing. I mean, the city and you guys, the food.
The food's fantastic in Austin. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's talk about the book club.
Let's. It is not too late to join Refined Reads. Our June pick is such a great one. It's called Anything is Possible by Elizabeth Strout. The book is full of small-town characters whose lives all intersect at one point or another, and who have a ton of secrets. We spoke with author Elizabeth Strout during her visit to Seattle, and she had a theory about filling the book with all these secrets.
My feeling has always been that most of us have things that we don't talk about. Just maybe even one or two little things, or even a feeling that we don't really fully share with somebody else for whatever reasons. And that if you can find that in a book of fiction and then realize, oh, I've had that thought, you know, I didn't know anybody else had that thought, then it should help everybody.
If you're reading along with us, you should be through the chapter called Mississippi Mary this week. If you haven't signed up to join our discussion, please do so. Go to SeattleRefined.com/refinedreads. Our next discussion is scheduled for June 29th at the University Bookstore in Mill Creek.
Oh, that sounds fun. And one of my favorite guys is in town tonight, Al Franken. Great politician and a really funny comedian, all kind of mixed up.
Legend.
Yeah. And then he has a huge new book coming out, right? Called Giant of the Senate?
Yeah, I think most of us only know him as Stuart Smalley, but he's got a new memoir called Giant of the Senate coming up. And I mean, he's going to be talking about that. And I mean, it's Al Franken. How can you not go, right?
All right, Britt, thanks for joining us this afternoon. And you're a gamer because you came in like at, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning after you got on a flight in Austin like at 3.
I'm telling you, straight from the airport to work. That's how we do it here. We never stop.
All right, have a great weekend, Britt.
Thanks.
All right, we'll be right back. But first, our Tech Tango app of the week.
If you are worried about someone copying your photos or pictures of your artwork that you post to social media, consider placing a watermark before you put it online. It is quick and easy with Easy Watermark app. Watermarks can be your signature, logo, a symbol, or any text. You can apply a watermark to a single image or a batch. The fastest way to add a watermark is to save it as a template. This allows you to use the watermark within the app by simply selecting it each time you want to apply it. You can immediately upload your watermarked image to Facebook, Twitter, email, WhatsApp, or save it to your camera roll. Easy Watermark is free and ad supported. It's available on iOS and Android. I'm Francie Black. For more great apps, visit techtangotoday.com.
Welcome back to Seattle Refined. If you're looking for something great on stage, there are some really cool shows playing right now. Here Lies Love is about to come to an end. The Paparetta about the rise and fall of former Philippine First Lady Imelda Marcos will close this Sunday, June 18th. The show transforms the Seattle rep into a disco. Now, everyone I know who has seen it has given it a big thumbs up. So if you can, check it out before it's gone. And over at the Paramount Theater, Cabaret is currently on stage. The Tony Award-winning musical is about following your heart while the world loses its way. Direct from Broadway, you'll enter the Kit Kat Club, where the cast tantalizes the crowd with the decadent allure of Berlin nightlife. We talk with the show's 2 stars, and we're going to have that interview for you next week right here on Refined. All right, we're just about finished with this episode of Seattle Refined. As we end the show, here are some of our favorite photos and moments of the week. Have a great Friday and a weekend, everybody.